We start this hour in the Middle East, where the Israeli army has issued evacuation warnings for a significant proportion of Gaza City and northern Gaza, forcing many to leave again. Last night, thousands of Israelis demonstrated in Tel Aviv for the first time in 3 weeks to demand a hostage deal with Hamas. They want the government of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to take what they called a brave and bold decision. Hamas has signalled it is willing to free the remaining hostages under a deal to end the war. The Qatari Foreign Ministry earlier said Israel and Hamas should build on the momentum from last week's ceasefire between Israel and Iran. In Gaza, the Health Ministry says at least 81 people were killed and more than 400 injured in Israeli strikes over a period of 24 hours. Israeli strikes hit a number of areas, including on an apartment building, a stadium and a school housing displaced families. President Trump said on Friday a Gaza ceasefire is possible within the next week, and today he took to social media to post this. "Make the deal in Gaza, get the hostages back," he wrote. Well, our correspondent Ione Wells is monitoring events for us from Jerusalem, and she told us firstly more about that evacuation order for northern Gaza.
The Israeli military have issued this order telling people in significant parts of Gaza City, but also the north of Gaza, to evacuate. They've issued this in a statement in Arabic, warning citizens to leave those areas and move south. Now, normally these evacuation orders have come before significant offences in the region, so it's expected that the Israeli military are planning further airstrikes on the areas that they have told people to evacuate from. We will likely see many people trying to flee south, although of course not clear when exactly this action may take place, whether everyone would be able to move in time. Now, this comes as latest figures show that up until Saturday afternoon, in the 24 hours preceding that, at least 81 Palestinians were killed and more than 400 people injured, according to figures in Gaza in the latest round of airstrikes. Israel have said, though, that they killed a significant Hamas military figure, Hakam Mohammed Issa al-Issa, who they say was instrumental in planning the 7th of October attacks on Israel in 2023. This is one of the last remaining figures, senior leadership figures within Hamas, according to the Israeli military, after 2 previous leaders were already killed. Now, what's interesting is this comes as well as Israeli media are reporting that the Israeli army have been telling the political leadership in Israel that they are close to achieving all the goals that the political leadership had set for them in Gaza. But today's evacuation order suggests that for now, the war is raging on. There is no imminent plans for fighting to cease today.
And Ione, in the backdrop of this, we saw those protests on Saturday night. Pressure really is mounting on Benjamin Netanyahu to come to some kind of deal, especially in the backdrop of the ceasefire between Israel and Iran.
That's right. We saw for the first time in 3 weeks these protests in Tel Aviv last night, with many people gathering to call on the government to reach a comprehensive deal to release all the hostages in Gaza. Now, what they were calling for was a deal that doesn't just release a couple of hostages as part of a sort of temporary ceasefire. They want all of them released, and they want Israeli troops pulled out of Gaza as well. Now, it's worth reflecting on what the key sticking points have been so far in terms of reaching a ceasefire deal. Hamas has said that it is prepared to release all the hostages, but it wants Israel to commit to ending this war and also pulling all its troops out of Gaza, something that Israel has so far refused to do. Now, Israel, as part of a deal, also wants Hamas to completely disband and lay down their arms, something which Hamas has rejected so far. So these remain the key sticking points at the moment. But as you say, there is pressure growing not just from campaigners and including families of hostages who still remain in Gaza, but also the international community too, with Donald Trump saying on Friday to reporters that he believes a ceasefire is close. I think certainly the ceasefire that was announced between Iran and Israel has added this renewed focus to Gaza again now, and questions about whether a ceasefire is possible there or not.